Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Guitar by Emily. Today we're talking pedals. I'm going to be showing you all of my pedals that I have and talking a little bit about them. So I'm really excited to do this video. Someone actually requested it on the video that I did showing all my guitars, my guitar collection, and someone requested that I show all my pedals. So I'm really excited to be doing this one. I kind of have a lot of pedals. I definitely just like to try out different things and play around with tone a lot. I don't have my board set up, so thankfully I didn't have to take these off of my board. I need to do that, but they're all currently just kind of hooked up in the floor, and I'm probably not going to remember how to get them all back together like they were because I just unplugged everything and took them out of order. So hopefully I can get them all back together, but anyways, let's just get right on with the video. Alright guys, let's go ahead and start with distortion and overdrive. First up, we're going to be talking about my Marshall Drive Master. These just came out this year, and this pedal is really fun. I picked this up at Guitar Center. They had one. It's just a really great, it's a little bit bluesy, just a really great drive pedal. It really gives a good tone for almost like a classic rock sound. That's what I would kind of describe it as, maybe like AC/DC or early Kiss, just a little bit more of that 70s, early 80s. But it's a great pedal. If you're gonna do like straight up like hair metal or glam metal, whatever you want to call it, then you're probably gonna want a few other pedals to shape this one's tone. It's not exactly like full on like glam metal 80s, but it still has a great drive sound, and most pedals you need to add other things to them anyways, so I really recommend this one. Alright, next up we have this Rat. This is just the original Rat overdrive pedal. I decided to pick this one up because I was reading an article where Nuno Bettencourt was talking about his tone and the new Extreme album that just came out, 6, and he was talking about that he pretty much only uses like an amp and one of these for his tone. So I was like, oh my goodness, I've got to try that. So I did, and I picked this up at Sweetwater. I actually went to the Sweetwater store and I picked this one up, and it is awesome. You can just plug it right into an amp and it sounds like that Nuno Bettencourt, like extreme, just really heavy sound, and I absolutely love it. And with the controls here, you can really get a variety of different overdrive sounds. If you want just something a little bit less gainy, you can get that, or you can just turn it up to 10 and get that awesome sound. So I really love this pedal. Alright, this one's a classic. We've got our Boss Distortion. This is the Wazacraft version. Absolutely love this. This is just probably your most basic distortion if you just don't know what to get and you need to start somewhere. This is a great distortion pedal. Like I've kind of said, I don't use pedals a ton. I use them when I have a purpose for using them, but when I need to just sit down and play quickly, I'll use my Spark amp. But when I do use pedals and I need to just get a little bit of distortion going, this one's great, and I absolutely love this one. And the orange is really cool. I like my pedal board to look awesome as well. I like my pedals to be bright colors and look cool. So I definitely have a lot of pedals that are colorful or have a pattern or something because I just think that they look awesome. Alright guys, and this might be the most famous overdrive, and this is going to be our Tube Screamer. This is absolutely awesome. I mean, who doesn't use a Tube Screamer? Like, if you look at any famous rock and roll guitar player, everyone's got one on their board, and these things just sound great. I absolutely love just plugging one of these things in with a little bit of compression and maybe some delay, and you've got a killer 80s tone. Definitely if you want a sound like Poison, Bon Jovi, and even Steve Vai stuff, this is awesome. Absolutely love this pedal. I'd love to pick up a vintage one, and I've seen a few here and there, but they've been in pretty bad condition, so I'm just sticking with this one that I got here, a new one, but one day I might pick up a vintage one. Let's move on to a little bit more of a boring group of pedals, but the ones that you need. So let's start with compression. This is my Keely compressor. This thing just, it does the job. It's nothing crazy. It's just very simple compression. It's got all the controls. I absolutely love how simple this thing is to use, and it's just awesome. Definitely in the world of compression, you got to know a little bit of what you're doing when you start out, and you got to work with it and dial in your tone, because you can definitely add too much and then you're gonna get not the right sound, maybe more of like a country guitar sound. Not good, at least for what we're doing, rock guitar. So you want to know what you're doing when you're using a compression pedal, but you can just play around with it and have fun and you'll get the tone. Alright, next we've got another essential pedal. You're going to need a noise gate, so I've got this one here. This is my Electro Harmonics silencer noise gate. I picked this one up used at a music go round, just like a used guitar store, and I really like this one. It's a little bit difficult to wire it because it does have a send and return, so it's got 4 inputs on it, so it's a little bit more of a wiring issue if you get one like this, but it's more convenient in the end. I think the tone is a little bit better when you can wire it around your distortion and things like that. I can make another video on how I set up my pedals and things like that. I'm probably not explaining it the best right now, but you gotta have a noise gate, and this one works well for me. Alright, here's a little pedal that honestly I've not used a lot, but it's something that I thought I needed. So it's my TC electronic looper. It's just a small little guy, not too many controls. I haven't learned exactly how to use this thing, so I haven't used it a ton, but from what I can tell, and I've used it a little bit, it does work well, and it's definitely something fun to play around with, looping and making your own music and things like that, so good one to have. Alright, let's move on to my favorite group of pedals. This is just our like effects. So we're going to start with chorus. This is my Boss Wazacraft chorus. This is like my favorite color of pedal. It's just so pretty, such a pretty blue color. And if you want to do anything 80s, then you need a chorus pedal. Eddie Van Halen uses them. Everyone uses a chorus, but I really think of Eddie Van Halen when I think chorus. I think this sounds so good. I didn't realize how much I needed one until I got it, and then my tone just really shaped up. Whitesnake as well, a lot of chorus, and I absolutely love it. So you can get some really great clean tones with this, and then you can also just throw it over some distortion and get a really good 80s sound. So you gotta have a chorus pedal if you want to do 80s. Alright, next up is my favorite pedal. I know I've said I love a lot of them, but this one has to be my favorite. This is my Strymon delay. This thing is made for 80s. It literally says it on the package, on the info. This thing is marketed towards the 80s guitar player, and it does the job. This thing sounds absolutely amazing, and there are so many tones you can get out of this. Like, I mean, you think delay, it's simple, you just add a little bit, but this really does so many different things, and you can get so many different sounds. A delay pedal can do a lot more than just add that little bit of delay to a gainy tone. You can get some really wild things with this. I know Nuno Betancourt does some really crazy things with delay pedals, and it's really cool. So it's fun to mess around with one, see what kind of tones you can get out of it, and this one is the one I recommend. I think it is the best delay pedal out there. Alright, now we've got an EVH pedal. This is a flanger pedal. MXR makes these. This one is really nice. I mean, it is the MXR pedal just with the EVH logo and patterns on it. The only difference, as far as I know, is the actual EVH button right here, and that's going to give you the exact settings to play songs like Unchained or other Eddie Van Halen riffs, but Unchained is like the main one where he uses the flanger. So this one is really great. A lot of songs actually use this and you might not pick up on it. I realized after I paid attention that a lot of songs actually throw these on there for parts of the solos or riffs. I know George Lynch even uses one sometimes. So this is a really fun piece. It might not be completely necessary. It's more of just a fun pedal to throw in here or there, but I love it and I think it's really fun to use. Alright, I've got another EVH. This is also MXR. This is my phaser. Phasers are used more than you might think. I really like this. I think it has a super cool sound again. Of course, the Eddie Van Halen sound. It's got the Van Halen stripes on it. But so many different people use this, and I think that sometimes you don't really hear it until you've used one and you've put it into your tone and you realize, oh, that might have been the missing piece, and that just sounds really cool. So I really love this. I like to add it in. Maybe I wouldn't probably keep it on all the time, not as like a set and forget pedal. Might just turn it on for a solo or a certain riff, but it's really good to have on your board and it's really fun. Alright, now we've got reverb. We've got our TC Electronic Hall of Fame. Really good reverb. I really like this one because it has all these modes, as you can see here, and you can flip between them. You can even plug this thing into a computer and set your own presets. So this thing does a lot more than your basic pedal. It's got all of your controls like a normal reverb would have, and then we also have this kind of compression button here that you can kind of shape the tone with your foot, and it kind of controls the tone almost like an expression pedal, but in the form of this little button. So it's really nice. That doesn't just turn it on and off. That is like a little bit of an effect built in. So it's really awesome. I just love that I have so many different options depending on the song. Like just for a normal song, I might just throw a little bit of plate reverb on there. But if maybe I want to play Is This Love, Whitesnake, I might do some spring reverb or hall, something like that. So there's a lot of options, a lot of different songs use different types of reverb, and this has it all. Alright, let's move on to the expression pedals. This is my Morely Bad Horsey. And I had to have this pedal, absolutely had to have it, because Steve Vai has it. Anything Steve Vai has, I automatically want to add it to my collection because he is my absolute favorite guitar player. And this one was just an easy way to get a little bit of that Vai tone by not doing too much work. So this is a wah-wah pedal. I really love this one. This one's so much fun. Sometimes I forget about it, and then I'll see it sitting in the floor one day, and I'll just decide to plug it in and just play some improv with it. And it is just so much fun to shape your tone with this, and you get so many cool sounds, especially if you're using the whammy bar with it, and harmonics with this thing. Awesome. I also have a Sustainiac built into my Joe Satriani guitar, and that Sustainiac mixed with this gets some wild tones, and it is so awesome. It's just so fun to play around with all these different things and see what you can create with all these pieces of equipment. So this one is a major recommendation if you like Steve Vai and you want to get that tone. Alright, this is the last pedal we're going to talk about. This is my Morely Little Alligator volume pedal, and this one is actually a Vai edition, so you can see there. These aren't currently being made. I got this one used. A lot of my pedals I've actually gotten used because if there's nothing wrong with them, I like to get a little bit of a deal on them, and buying used is a great way to get new gear. So this one got used, and I think I found it on Reverb, and it is just a volume pedal. It's a little bit smaller than some other ones. It's not the mini because that one is a good bit smaller than this, but this is great, honestly. It's all you need. I wouldn't probably get anything bigger than this, at least personally, but I think it's also big enough that it's a little easier to use than some of the really small volume pedals. So again, this one might not be one that you need all the time, but especially if you're playing like live, or you just want to have that option to change the volume and do swells and things like that without using the volume knob, then this is a great option, and it really provides a lot of flexibility with that, especially if you're not super comfortable with using the volume knob on the guitar to do the changes like that. So this is a good one to have. Alright guys, I think that's everything. I did a quick little look around the studio to make sure I didn't forget anything. Sometimes these pedals just get put on shelves or around and I forget about them. So these are all the pedals. I really hope you guys enjoyed me talking about them today. I had a lot of fun, and I definitely want to do some more in-depth videos on the different pedals and play for you guys some through them. I know I didn't play anything today and you didn't get to hear them, but I want to do some separate videos on maybe each of the pedals, just kind of displaying what they have to offer and why I love them so much. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. That helps me out so much. Give the video a like. Make sure you turn your notifications on so you don't miss any of my new videos. And please leave a comment. It really helps the algorithm and helps get my channel out there a little bit more. I am just starting out and trying to reach as many people as I can. If you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you go to my homepage on YouTube and you follow me on there. That helps me out a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!